Welcome back to Houston Live. For the fourth year, people around the country are participating in Braille Across America, the Braille Across America Challenge. They're doing that by walking, running, and biking their way to a total distance of 26.2 miles over the course of 1 month.
And two local participants, Cheri Hutcherson and Thurman, they are joining us now with more on this event. Their very personal reasons for supporting the cause. Ladies, welcome to the show. We were chatting during commercial break, and there are so many things that I didn't realize, including access to Braille books. It is not a given. Publishers, unless they request a book be printed in Braille, it just is not out there. That's where you come in. Cheri, I actually want to start with you, though. You have a 13-year-old son, Will, who is blind.
Yes.
And so your connection to this cause is deeply personal.
Absolutely. And I'm very passionate about the cause. Braille literacy means so much to Will. And as we were talking before the commercial break, can you imagine not having access to visual information, only hearing something auditorily?
No, not at all. So if you're a visual learner,
but, yeah.
So we're expecting blind people to just soak it up through their ears, and that is not the best way for them to learn.
No. So that tactile ability to access, the content just kind of drives the content deeper, drives it home for them.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Yeah, and Lauren, you're the customer relations manager for NBP, and NBP is a National Braille Press, right?
Yes.
So this is something that actually gets physically into the hands of people who need it. They can hold it. And why has that been a passion for you?
So I was a teacher for 10 years, and I, just like Cheri said, can totally relate to kids learning in different ways. Some kids want to move and learn through, kinesthetics, other kids auditorily, and some tactile.
Right.
And so it's really important that we get Braille to everybody in an equitable way. And it's 3 times more to produce Braille than it is regular print. So that is why we are doing Braille Across America and raising some funds to get these books into the hands of blind and visually impaired individuals.
And when it comes to the books that are being printed in Braille, nonfiction, fiction, but also textbooks. So this is a critical thing that we need to have access to, better access to. I feel like, as any parent would probably agree, you want your child to be happy. You want them to thrive. You want them to be included. And Braille, Braille Press, that is one of their missions. Cheri, talk to us just about parenting Will. What's it like to be his mom? He's 13 years old now. He's got his own TikTok, and you just want him to be a kid.
That's right. That's right. I think parenting Will has been really awesome for our family. I think we've all evolved as human beings, if you will. It was a very eye-opening experience to understand what it's like to live in a sighted world and be completely absent of sight. And so having all of the access to the adaptive Braille is super, super important. And it's helped Will to thrive in many ways. He gets a whole lot of his confidence from not just being independent, but he's super bright. He's very smart. And so if he were to go to school, like today, for instance, is a state test. We have his state test today. I can't imagine him doing the whole thing with absolutely no access to Braille content. All of his peers have the printed version of the test, and for him just to hear it takes on a whole nother level to actually have direct access to it through tactile.
Wow. And Lauren, like you said, it costs money to get these things printed, and that's why the fundraising is so important. So you participated in the Braille. You were walking, you were running. How was that part? How was that experience like?
Well, I walked with my 3 kids, so it's
a little crazy.
Chaos. Yeah, absolute chaos all the time. But it's one of those things that you want to get out there. You want to bring awareness to Braille literacy, and this was a great way to do it. And you can connect with people all across the country. And there's 23 different states that are participating. I think we have 43 individuals and
Raised almost $40,000 so far.
Right.
Our goal is to get to $75,000.
exactly.
And you can get there. By the way, we were just seeing some of your photos of your children, 1, 3, and 5 years old.
Yes.
So I think it's great you all participated. So the National Braille Press, I didn't realize they've been around for almost 100 years, and they've been doing such great work. And I feel like the takeaway for me is you don't have to have an immediate family member who is blind. I mean,
No.
this is something that we can all get behind, and you really do encourage everybody to get involved with this effort.
Absolutely. I mean, you may not realize how much of an impact you're making by having Braille materials available to individuals. It gives so much confidence to someone to be able to pick up a book and read it. You know, we take for granted that print is available to us so readily.
We do.
And our fundraising efforts too really help to offset the cost so that these children have access to what their sighted peers do at the same price. You know, could you imagine saying, because you're blind, we'd like you to pay 3 times more for your
No.
book than your sighted peer.
Right.
And so that really hit home for me. That was one of the big reasons we wanted to help fundraise.
Yeah. So, and as an avid reader, I mean, obviously the learning is so important, but having kids be able to hold something and have a book that is theirs that they can enjoy just like everyone else, I mean, that seems like a bare minimum quality to have. So in
Right.
addition to fundraisers, the National Braille Press is always looking for sighted people that can help, and they can text readers who can do things like that remotely, and really that can be your way to give back, but the fundraising ultimately very important as well.
Yes.
Yes.
No doubt.
28% of blind children don't have pleasure reading materials.
That's right.
And so
That breaks my heart.
I mean, if my children couldn't, you know, pick up books and read for fun with me in the evenings, that would be so hard on me and for them, you know? And so having these programs and fundraisers in place, like our Children's Braille Book Club, that's where the funds go. And, you know, we produce all kinds of great books once a month, and we're servicing 325 families currently.
That is fantastic.
I'll tell you something else that I'll just add that might help you understand a little more. So one of the things we discovered with Will was when he listens to content via auditory means versus Braille, he picks up on so much more. Spelling, for one. Think about trying to learn how to spell words that you don't visually see. Well, for a Braille learner, touching it is the same. So you hear a word and you think it might be spelled phonetically one way, but when you see it, you know it's spelled another way. So having access to Braille for him has been really key for more than just reading.
Yeah, grammar as well, right?
Absolutely.
Learning that.
Sentence structure. I mean, all the things that, you know, that
That most people never consider.
we take for granted because we learn
See it, right?
visually.
We are
Right.
tight on time, but if someone needs a textbook or they want just a nonfiction or fictional book to read, like the pleasure reading you described, they can put in a request to have that book created in Braille. Is that correct?
Yes. So at mbp.org, we have a textbook catalog, and we also have a bookstore. So we have books that have already been brailled that are readily available to just add to cart, and we can send books out.
We also support public ed, so they can go through their, you know, whatever their public ed region is and request the reading materials if they're a student in school.
So
All right,
important.
National Braille Press and the
Yes.
Braille Across America Challenge. Everyone can participate next year for year 5. Cheri and Lauren, thank you so much.
Thank you for
stopping
having
by.
us. We really appreciate it.
Yes, and we can all get involved in this effort. Lauren Thurman, Cheri Hutcherson, once again, thank you so much. And for more info about the Braille Literacy Challenge and to learn more about the history of the National Braille Press and how their work supports blind and visually impaired people all over the U.S., you can visit our website, HoustonLife.tv. Look for that scene on Houston Life section.
All right, good stuff.